Hello everyone, I've got a mastery achievement for you today on the Spear of Adun mission. So what the achievement entitles is for you to destroy all enemy structures on the map. That includes the Protoss structures and the Zerg structures, not just one or the other, and you've got to do it on hard difficulty. So as you see, I'm looking it up right now. Here we go, Adun Toridas. Destroy all enemy structures in the Spear of Adun mission on hard difficulty. And that's what I'm going to do for you. And I'm going to show you right here, replay the mission, hard difficulty. There we go. Let's get things rolling. So basically, like my brutal difficulty video, I'm going to get my economy going right away, and you're going to want to get those those upgrades for your units as fast as possible. So there's the attack upgrade, the shield upgrade, and then the armor upgrade. And those are very important to get. Also, another very important thing to do is use your hotkeys. You always want to get those hotkeys up right away. Okay, and then what I prefer to do on this mission right here is build a pylon down here, and then use my warp-in pylon for the structures up on top of my base. But you know, it really doesn't matter. You can do it either way. So feel free to just, warp in one right there, and then you give power to those structures.
Ideal for this. Of course, our probes can always warp into pylons as well.
Like I said, going to get the economy going. Always make sure you're building a probe. Probes are very important. Once you get the mineral line saturated and you get your gas saturated, you don't want to make any more probes. So just make like maybe one more after that, just so you can have that probe run around and build stuff for you. But you need the extra minerals and gas for creating units, and you need that supply space for creating units. So for the first couple of minutes, it's just going to be me pretty much camping in my base. I want to get the economy up a little bit and get some more units. I may move out in a little bit here with a couple of my units to go bait some of the units back towards my base and kill them, but you don't need to do that. As long as you create a big army, you should be fine on this for this achievement. Then what I'm doing right here, I'm creating 2 extra forges, but you actually only need to create, well, you don't need to, but I would make just 1 extra forge, so you have 2 total. Don't do the 3 like I did by mistake. If you do 2, you should be able to get all your upgrades fast enough, and you're just wasting minerals in order to get that extra forge, the 3rd forge that is. And then also, build your pylons around your base. You want to be able to really spread out your structures, and don't block off, wall off your base in the middle of it so your units can't get from one side to the other. Otherwise, if you get flanked or attacked from the other side of your base when you're not expecting it, units aren't going to be able to save you unless you have blink stalkers to blink around those buildings of yours. It's a bad idea to do that. You'd really trap yourself. It's not good. Okay, and then right here, making sure to micro those zealots back as soon as they start taking damage. And make as much use of shield batteries as you can throughout this mission. I don't use very many shield batteries when I'm attacking, but if you're really on top of your game, it'd be helpful to use your warp and pylon ability, and then build, or even just use a probe. Use a probe, build a pylon pretty close to where you're going to be attacking, and then build a couple shield batteries. So once you blink back your stalkers, then they'll blink straight by that shield battery, and their shields will replenish. And then you can pretty much just, you know, your units won't really die because the shield battery will replenish it right away. Yeah, like right there. Wasted minerals on extra forge, tongue face. Huh. Don't do that. Only build 2. But back to what I was saying with the shield batteries when you're attacking. Don't build, if you are going to use shield batteries when you're attacking, don't build too many of them though, because you really need those extra minerals for later. Okay, so as you can see now, I'm starting to bait back my units, or bait back the Zerg units, and now I'm going to start making some stalkers because I finally have my gas saturated. And I've got my upgrades going. Also, what I like to do is create two photon cannons on both sides of my base, and then one shield battery, just the basic layout. And that's usually enough so that you can wake up in time if you don't have units guarding your base, and spawn a couple of units in. So the photon cannons will distract the oncoming enemies, and you should be fine after the first initial couple hits, because your units should be able to warp in fast enough for you to save your own base. And then what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm getting my stalkers ready. I'm going to be going down for that Protoss base in the southwest corner of the map. As you can see right here, this is a perfect example about what I was talking about. This army of zealots and dragoons is coming to attack my base. And I had those photon cannons there, so I was able to spawn in 2 stalkers, and then the rest of my army was able to come back to my base. So I didn't really lose much there. I lost 2 photon cannons and a probe. Not a big deal. So as soon as you can, make sure to rebuild those photon cannons right away. Okay. Now I'm going to be warping in this pylon down here, and I'm going to I mistakenly bring too many of my units down here, and I bait those zealots and immortals back, but you shouldn't do that. Just use 1 stalker for this part, and I like to sneak off the pylon. So, you'll see what I mean. Yeah. Get as much as you can without having to work hard. Or you can go fast and just bring all your units down right away. But if you aren't very comfortable with your microing, just pluck off as many units as you can, a little bit at a time. And that's a prime example of that. Accidentally grabbed too many of my probes there. That was a mistake. Okay, so now as you can see, I have full saturation of my mineral line and my gas. So I'm not going to make any more probes. I've got 2 extra probes for building. I'm going to put 1 on each side. And if there were other upgrades to be gotten, and if you had a robotics bay, I would also tell you to use your what is it called? Come on, what is it called? Photon charge? Is that what it is? Not sure. Okay. Well, whatever it is that boosts your production, I always forget what it's called. It happens to me all the time, but whatever you use to boost the production of your structures, use that on your robotics bay. But since there isn't one, it's not really going to matter for this mission. You can boost your production of your warp gates, but the production is really fast, and it's not really going to make that big of a difference when you have 9 warp gates like I'm going to have later on in this video. So don't really worry about it, but you can. Okay, also building more pylons around my base. Just need as much space as I can, and I don't want to be supply capped. Getting supply capped absolutely sucks. Okay, now I'm getting pretty comfortable. Honestly, I wasn't sure at this point in the video, or this gameplay, whether or not I was going to be able to hang on to these stalkers. When I was playing on brutal difficulty, my stalkers just disappeared right away. It's just so hard to keep your units alive on brutal difficulty. But on hard difficulty, it actually isn't that bad. It's quite a big step down from brutal difficulty, and as long as you're paying attention, you should be able to micro just like I'm doing on here. So as I go across this bridge, as soon as I see one of my units start to lose its shields, I'm just going to blink it back. So like that. That one's losing its shields. Gonna pull it back. Now I see some units are starting to warp in, so I'm gonna spread out my stalkers right here and get ready for this attack. I'm gonna bait them back to the rest of my stalkers so I can hit them all at once. Okay, now that Dragoon's all alone, just make sure... Oh, blinked back the wrong unit by accident. Honestly, I am playing chicken right now. I am really not being courageous enough. I just wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hang on to my units once again. What I didn't realize, because I did this on my first playthrough attacking these enemy bases, the Protoss and Zerg bases, is that once you destroy these bases, you actually get more minerals. You can build a nexus on the mineral line. And as long as you go quick enough, the mineral patches and the gas are going to be pretty full still by the time you get there. Now, honestly, if I was you guys, I would kind of dive into this a little bit more than I have. By the end of this will be 44 minutes in Starcraft game time, and I really drug this out just for like anyone who's not really comfortable with their gameplay. But if you, just letting you know that it's pretty simple to beat this, get this achievement on hard difficulty. As long as you just do what I'm doing right here. See a weak unit, blink it back. Click on it, blink it back. Click on it, blink it back. And if you have all those upgrades, of course. So this is a little bit more difficult to make sure all of your units are okay, but another thing you guys should make sure, I don't know if StarCraft does it automatically now in the settings, but you should make sure to see your health point, your hit point bars on the top of all of your units. I believe there's a setting in the gameplay settings that you can check on in order to see those hit point bars. But I'm not sure. They could have changed that in the Legacy of the Void update. I've just had it on for so long that it's the norm for me now.
I am detecting a Protoss presence in that direction. That path does not lead to a power cell.
So this is where it's going to get a little tough. You can bait some of these units back, but I'm getting a little impatient. I'm just going to walk straight up this ramp pretty much and try to take as much as I can on at the same time. Blink back what's weak and see how much I can destroy. Another good thing to do right now would be warping in a pylon, which I just did. There we go. Now, I'm pretty focused on focusing down this carrier right away. You want to get those guys done right away and get rid of the Dragoon. But you should start warping in some extra stalkers. Hopefully I do that pretty quick here. I'm just too focused on my blinking. Okay, just focus down whenever it's producing units. Get rid of that robotics bay as soon as you can. Don't want any more units to come in here because it's just going to be a pain in the butt. And that should be the last unit. Oh, nope, there's one more Dragoon. So as soon as you get that guy, kill the rest of these probes, finish off the rest of the structures in this corner of the map, and then get a probe down here right away and start taking all the minerals and gas that you can. Now, it's not going to be over yet. There are still going to be units spawning out of nowhere. Don't know where they come from, but I don't know like what's teleporting them in, but somehow they spawn, and there's going to be hybrid and immortals and even the stronger type of hybrid. I'm not sure what the stronger type of hybrid are called, but they're going to spawn in this bottom left corner here where my units are camping right now. And I'm going to make sure to build some pylons and shield batteries, and photon cannons in the spot, just so when they spawn, my units are protected. I don't even think I know about it right now, but I'm going to get surprised in a second here with some units that are going to start killing my base. Okay, so just clearing off some Hydralisks here. Going to take out this pylon, the immortal, and these photon cannons. Be smart to focus down immortals as soon as you see them before photon cannons, if that happens to be the case. Immortals will tear through your stalkers. They don't give a crap about what your stalkers have to say. Okay, get both of the gas, build some pylons. Really just trying to use these minerals up right now and get vision of the entire map. And as you can see, I'm really starting to clear things out now. It's looking a lot better. Once you take out that base, things start to get... That Protoss base is the main thing that you need to destroy. And then after that, things really start to just clear up for you for the rest of this mission. So yeah, just trying to blink right here. Get rid of all these units. Now, there they are. Hybrids and, what is that, three Dragoons. I'm frantically warping in units right now because I'm like, oh crap, what am I going to do now? These guys are pretty tough. My Stalkers and my Zealots don't stand a chance until I get the rest of my units over here. I was pretty worried for a second. I was thinking, I don't know if I can actually hold this base if that's going to keep on spawning down there. But you'll see what I do here. Like I said, I'm going to create those shield batteries and photon cannons. I'll even put some Zealots in front of the shield batteries just for extra protection. And you should be fine after that, as long as you pay attention. Now, I accidentally destroyed one of the activated one of the power cells, so I wasn't paying attention. I forgot that I forgot that I was destroying the creep or whatever it was that was on the power cell, and I ended up getting my base attacked unintentionally. Every time you activate one of those power cells, like I said in my previous videos, there's going to be some type of attack. Whether it is warp gates or if it's going to be Nidus worms. Sometimes it'll be a little bit of both. So you have to be prepared for that. Always bring your units back as soon as you activate a power cell. So as you can see, the attacks aren't too bad. As long as you do a little bit of blinking, you should be fine. I shouldn't have moved my Stalker forward right here. I'm going to lose both of them. But spawn in a couple more Zealots and you'll be fine. Okay, rebuilding those 2 photon cannons again. Okay, now you're going to want to make a waypoint for both of your nexuses down to the mineral line down here. You want to get all the minerals saturated and the gas saturated again. And if you're really feeling comfortable, you can go start clearing out the north side of the map where that other power cell is that I haven't cleared out yet. I advise doing it this method. Go for the Protoss base first, and then go for the Zerg base. I actually found the Zerg base to be a little bit more challenging than the Protoss base. And the less power cells that you activate, the less attacks you have to worry about on your base. So try to save those until the end. Or until you're completely ready. As long as you're prepared for the attacks, it's not going to make a big deal when you do it. Okay, once again, they're spawning in. I still wasn't completely ready, but I had my Zealots down here, and I'm going to get enough minerals to keep on spawning in. For a little while, you can't actually... I wasn't able to tell if I was actually going to be able to pull through this, but my shield batteries were keeping my units alive, luckily, so that saved the day there. Came out on top on that attack. And then as soon as my units are done attacking, move them back in front of the shield batteries. And build those photon cannons. You need those. You really want to hang on to the mineral line down there. You don't want to lose that. If you lose that, you may not be able to get all the structures destroyed, because if you do lose units, you're not going to be able to reproduce those units, because minerals run out very quickly on hard difficulty as well as brutal difficulty. So just finding a couple more Stalkers now. Okay, and you should be able to just move straight in here. Focus on that Ultra, that's the main thing you want to kill first. Big bulky units like that, get rid of those guys. My base is being attacked. I need to pay attention up there, but I'm not right now. Spawning a bunch of zealots just to get rid of that. And I'm going to leave those there for now, for future attacks that come at me. So I would advise doing that as well.
Well done, Hierarch. All of the abandoned warp gates are now under our control.
So now I'm just going to clear out the units here, but I'm going to try not to clear out that power cell, because I don't want to activate that quite yet.
We move unseen.
Then make sure to saturate the gas. Okay. Now I'm going to make an attempt on the Zerg base. Yeah, now would be a good time to save. You've cleared out the majority of the map, things are looking good. Save your game. If you mess up, you're going to be so frustrated with yourself and you'll have to restart. There are checkpoints though, but the checkpoints aren't always as good as a good save.
You are approaching the Zerg's hive cluster. It will be heavily defended.
So, as you can see, I'm finding this base quite a bit more difficult to get up this ramp. Not only did units spawn for the Zerg, the automatic spawn units, but they have a ton of stuff. There's going to be Banelings, Zerglings, Hydralisks, just everything's shooting at you at the same time. And these Protoss units just keep spawning down in this corner. It's so annoying. You have to make sure not to lose this base down here. But I spawned a ton of Zealots, so hopefully I'll be able to hold on to that for a little bit longer. Okay, so I've got that all covered. Back to the Zerg base. I'm going to try and spawn some more Stalkers. Make sure to put those fresh Stalkers in the front. They'll take the brute of the damage for you. And then you can see again, I don't know if it was more Zerg. There's some Roaches. There's even Mutalisks. You got Spine Crawlers. Some flying Zerg unit, I don't know what the name is. And I think there might be a Queen or two up here. That's just, I can't remember for sure, but that's a guess there. There's some type of fungal growth that keeps hitting my Stalkers. Finally, I get fed up with it, and I'm going to just walk my way up this ramp. I'm just going to keep on attacking and then spawn more Stalkers, because not enough of my Stalkers are attacking at the same time. I have a little bit of a break. Yep, there you can see my units got fungled again. I had a little bit of a break, so it's time to walk in here and just do the best I can. That's my advice to you. Push up that ramp. Just keep on pushing. You got to fight through the pain. And spawn in those Stalkers like no other. Yep, kill the Queens right away. You don't want to keep getting fungled. So things are starting to clear up now. Get rid of the rest of the attacking units. Focus down that Spine Crawler. It might be my advice right away. I'm going to do that in a second here. Spawn in more Stalkers. And just keep putting their waypoint up to the base to the rest of your Stalkers. And time to focus down that Spine Crawler. There we go. Now things are really starting to look good. So, as you can see, the enemy is gathering resources while all of this is happening. So you are losing some minerals and some gas before you actually take these bases. So if you wait too long, it's not going to be that beneficial to you to actually build a nexus at these mineral lines. But that's only if you wait a really long time. You won't have to worry about it too much. I mean, I took a long time to do this mission on hard difficulty. So let's be honest, you should be able to do just fine. And just because I feel like it, I'm going to kill all the units too. Now, you see that last larva bulb right there? The one I'm attacking? That thing's going to produce an Ultralisk. Like, what the heck? Oh, no, never mind. Those units spawned in. That didn't come from that larva. When I played through this, I assumed that little thing had an Ultralisk hiding in it. I was like, that isn't very realistic. That little thing produced an Ultralisk, but that's what happens in this game. Anyway. got rid of all that stuff. You can't build structures on creep unless it's your teammates creep in multiplayer or co-op missions, that is. And I am going to start building shield batteries and pylons where the units spawn again, like I did on the other base. So, I gotta wait for that creep to disappear. I'm going to go take care of that north power cell. Get that activated, and I'm going to spread out my units. That's going to be my next objective. I'm just kind of waiting around for a second here. I don't want to quite move out just in case they spawn in more units to attack me. I'm going to build up my army a little bit more and get some more of those stalkers. I noticed that my mineral line in my base is gone now, so I'm going to bring all of those probes down to the new expansion. Get some gas built on that Vespene, what are they called? Abstractors built on the Vespene geysers. And then I'm going to be out of minerals on my expansion pretty quick here. So I actually run into a little bit of a resource scare in a second. I'm kind of worried because I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, because there are quite a few units left still, and if I don't have minerals and I happen to make a slip, I'm not going to be able to get this achievement. But it's not really that bad. I just make an accidental move in a second here. I activate that power cell, and I'm not paying attention very well, and all of a sudden units are spawning from all directions of my base. I'm going to get rid of that last overlord, and I think I'm going to make my move now. Trying to group all of the stalkers together. Build a nexus with 400 minerals. Make sure to get pylons everywhere. You want that vision. You want that structure availability to be built anywhere.
Mineral field depleted. You have not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals.
Okay. Now all of my stalkers are in big ball. Am I going to move for the next power cell? No. Yes. There we go. Going where I wanted to go. Once again, yep, here comes that attack. So, gotta move those zealots into those roaches. Gotta get those focused down right away. Luckily, I had three, and they come in bursts. They come from both sides, so you really have to pay attention. Now, as you can see, I didn't have any minerals left. No income, and these units are attacking my base, so now I'm kind of scared. What do I do? Luckily, I have enough defenses prepared, which you should as well, and it's not a big worry. And I forgot that I moved my units up to this power cell, so they auto-destroyed the creep on that power cell, and it activated this attack. Now I got in a little bit of trouble, but I had a ton of stalkers left, so just focus down these Nidus worms before you attack the rest of the units. Nidus worms produce more units. As long as they're there, you're going to keep on losing your units to the units that the Nidus worms produces. So get rid of the Nidus worms first. Then you can focus down the other units that it produces. So that wasn't that bad. I just got a little worried. Only had 100 minerals. I don't even think I had 2 minerals a second ago. Or 3 minerals, that is. I had 2. Okay. Got the mineral line all saturated. Gas is saturated. I'm going to do something with these probes. I don't want them to just be sitting idle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them towards the rest of my army. And we are going to do some work. Going to get those rest of my army all together. I'm going to use the F2 key. If you use the F2 key, you can select all of your units at the same time. F1 key will select all of your idle probes, and W key will select all of your gateways. I personally don't like to use the W key though. I find that the W key, hotkey, is not in a, I don't know, I'm just so used to using the 3 hotkey and the 1 hotkey. 1 hotkey for my nexuses and 3 hotkey for my warp gates, or for different races I use different buildings, for those hotkeys. But as playing as Protoss, I really just like having the 1 and 3 hotkeys. It just feels more convenient for me rather than clicking down on W. It's what I'm used to. But W is there. You won't even have to build a hotkey for your warp gates if you just use W. You can auto-select all of them that way. Or manually select them. So now, as you can see, I'm really going to split up my units. You really want to get your micro on point for this part. Have the units in the correct spot. Split up your units the best you can. Warp gates coming there. Warp gates coming here. I already got that Night Swarm killed because I knew it was going to spawn there. Got the middle Night Swarm destroyed. I'm going to split up my units again here. Kill that Night Swarm down there. And then I'm going to focus down these warp gates up here. So lots happening all at once. Not only did this attack happen, the units spawned in the south and the northeast sides of my base. But since I had prepared zealots in those spots and was prepared with the rest of my stalkers, I was able to handle all of these nasty attacks. So if this part gets a little bit uncomfortable for any of you watching, just replay my video a couple of times and make sure to save a lot. If you save a lot, if it takes this, save every 5 minutes. Play 5 minutes, save the game, and then if you lose, or if you start losing too many units, jump back to your last save and then redo it. This is a misclick right here. I didn't want to send my units down quite yet, but I'm just going to go straight for it. If you are playing similar to what I'm doing right now, you should have enough units to just barge right into this base. Or last stand that they have, that is. There's nothing down here that's going to be able to stop an army of this size, as long as you do a little bit of microing. Once again, a misclick. There we go. Okay, so they got hybrids, they got banelings, they've got roaches, they've got zerglings. Just make sure to micro back those stalkers that get hit by the banelings. These spine crawlers, they're going to focus. They've got some pretty darn good range, so you're going to want to focus on whatever's getting hit by those things and micro those back right away. Make sure not to hit that power cell by accident. That could ruin your achievement progress. And there it is, Adun Toridas. I got it. But yeah, like I was saying, if you accidentally use the attack command and destroy that power cell before you get that last spine crawler, or whatever structure it is, you aren't going to get the achievement. So make sure to save a lot. If you accidentally do that, you can reload and not destroy the power cell by accident. You don't have to destroy these tumors. That's the one thing you don't have to worry about. Okay, now I'm going to show you right here the mastery achievement. Now Oblivion awaits. It's Adun Toridas. I was looking at the wrong thing. Destroy all enemy structures in the Spear of Adun. Don't listen to this comment I'm making right here because it's incorrect. You do have to destroy the Protoss units. You do. My bad, everyone. So there it is. Hopefully that was pretty simple. I took a long time to do this. As you can see, it's 44 minutes Starcraft time. That equates to about 31 minutes real time. I don't have any actual calculation for that. I just know that's how long my recording took. And I'm going to destroy the last amount of creep on that power cell and get it activated. And there's the mission. I had a ton of fun getting this mastery achievement. I would definitely encourage all of you to try and get this one. It was a blast, for sure. Now I'm just looking through my endgame stats. I lost about 157 units. It's not so terrible, but could have lost less if I microed a little bit better. And that's about it for this one. So the next video I'm going to make is going to be another StarCraft video, and then after that I'm going to make my video of some other game. I'm not sure what it is yet, but whatever I do for that video, maybe you guys could put some input, give me some input for that. But my next video is going to be me playing on the next mission. I'll probably do a normal difficulty playthrough and get all the normal achievements for the next campaign mission, or I might do it on brutal difficulty and show you how to beat that one on brutal difficulty. Either way, it's going to be a campaign video for my next posting. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.